Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best. Yes, it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم من جديد في نيوكاسل مع وليد. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newcastle again with Newcastle with وليد. Tonight we have Professor Yazid Al-Jasser from United States, Professor of Media. Welcome, Dr. Yazid.
Welcome, وليد. Thank you very much. Welcome everybody to the show.
Dr. Mute, I think.
How about now? No way.
It happens. It's okay.
Let's see.
If there is a mute button, or maybe just
Can you hear
enter
me
and
now?
go out and come
Can you hear me
again,
now?
maybe.
Can you hear me now?
No, we didn't. I can't hear you now. Yeah.
How about now? No way.
Doctor, you hearing me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, but for me, I
Go
can't.
back.
So yeah, if you can
Go
just
back,
go
go
back
back.
and back, yes, please. Yeah, sorry for this. Happen always. It's hard. But we tested before the show start. But you know, this is sometimes it happens. Dr. Professor Yazid Al-Jasser from States, Professor of Media, actually a Liverpool fan. He will share with us today Liverpool and Newcastle games tomorrow. We'll talk about details in transfer market, how to pick up players, how's the system of Liverpool. Welcome again, Dr. Yazid.
Welcome. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
Very good. Welcome everybody.
Dr. Yazid, we are happy to have you again in our show. I just talked behind your back that when you are away, and second, that you are a Liverpool fan and Newcastle fan as well, of course. Tomorrow, of course, we have many topics, and we're going to start with Newcastle Liverpool game, and we'll end the topics today with Newcastle and Liverpool also. So let's just talk about it a little bit. What's your expectation, thoughts for this lovely time of year?
Okay, so you want us to start directly to the big topic, the elephant in the room, huh? Okay, so Liverpool, Newcastle. I think Liverpool had a very difficult two last games against Wolves and Aston Villa, where the opponents played very defensively, and I think the results being 1-0, and both of the games the Liverpool managed to score at the end of the games. I think that if Liverpool didn't win with the penalty or the late goal with Origi against Wolves, I think that will be very helpful idea to other teams to play defensively against Liverpool. I think losing to that, in that way, may still give Newcastle an idea that they can still play defensively to maintain the difficulty of the Liverpool attacks. So it is not what we were advising Newcastle to play. It is not what we know Eddie Howe will play and try to implement in the last games, to play offensively and to seek the ball and try to build from the back. I think Liverpool is one of the most dangerous teams in the league if you open the play against them. So I think Newcastle tomorrow will play very deep defensive play with hope to get 1 point.
You feel Liverpool is so ready to go for the title. Uh, and I think they are in the right peak right now. We didn't see this coming, comparing to the difficulties they have last season. How you think Klopp he did manage this team with no much uh, signings to Liverpool uh, this season? How you think this is happened with the club? What's the secret?
Definitely. I think the secret is having a structure and having a team that knows how to go forward with the players they have and with the structure they have to implement, different players in different positions. Liverpool's mistake or problem was last season was injuries, especially at the back. Van Dijk, Matip was out most of the season. Gomez was out most of the seasons as well. So that did not help Liverpool to maintain the shape they wanted and accumulate the momentum they need, unlike this season. And I think the season before, which Liverpool won, Manchester City had that issue when Laporte was injured and they were unable to uh, keep the momentum during the season. So I think Liverpool is ready. Manchester City is more than ready as well. Chelsea is now showing signs of weaknesses, and Manchester United is gaining momentum with the new manager. It is getting very interesting. Unfortunately for Newcastle, he's facing most of those teams in the coming weeks, which is very, very unfortunate situation.
Brilliant, Dr. Yazid. Some fan and lately they grow some confidence in the team, but Leicester game took it all away. The 4-0. Nobody see that coming. And after Leeds result with Manchester City, I speak to some fans today, and they are afraid of this big result coming. Uh, Also, what do you think went wrong with Eddie Howe Leicester game, Dr. Yazid?
You're talking about Leicester Newcastle, the upcoming game, right?
Yes, and speaking mostly about, I mix things both subject together, but the main thing is the defense and the fear of result. Uh, to summarize it, Eddie Howe, what do you think he will do to avoid the big result and to get the confidence of the fans again?
I think Eddie Howe is in very, very difficult situation, unfortunate situation, because he is between a rock and a hammer now. Uh, on the one hand, he wants to build a structure for his team, a formation, a way of play, let's say, for Newcastle, because he's just started. He wanted the team to play his football. And on the other hand, the team is fighting relegation, and it needs points. So also the oppositions at this time is not like mid-table. They're the top five teams. So it is a very, very unfortunate. I think Eddie Howe is a courageous manager. Um, if he can how to say it, if he can manage between the fans' expectations and the development he's trying to implement step by step to the team, he will still play his way for the next few games, starting with Leicester. And Leicester is not doing well at this time. We saw his match against Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa and how they managed to win against them. The point is, Eddie Howe is between a rock and a hammer. On the one hand, he's trying to get points no matter what. And on the other hand, he has to implement what he is training his team and players to do on the on the training ground. So it will be very interesting to see how Eddie Howe will approach the next few games. But you got what I mean, right?
Yes.
And let's make it conversational. What do you think? If you were Eddie Howe, would you go for playing your team game and attack and try to get the ball as much as you can, or would you, let's say, a crisis situation, try to just get 1 point, play behind the ball, and try to get 1 point?
For me, if I put myself in Eddie Howe shoes, uh, he gets uh, and when I speak to many fans and some of their comments making sense. I remember someone telling me that he feel Eddie Howe play with good plan, good lineup, but good structure, good plan, but with he didn't have the player he need for this plan to work. So after this 4-0 with Leicester, and he will be afraid from getting more or concede more goals. This is, will affect the whole team situation and the confidence. Yani, no much confidence left in the players. Yani for the even for themselves, maybe they didn't confidence have confidence for themselves. And deeply, no matter what encourage Eddie Howe give or the positive message, deeply inside, I think they believe yani, most of them will be replaced in this at
Yeah.
any يعني as soon as possible. So it's very difficult situation, and I really feel sorry for Eddie Howe to face all this. So I think that's why he needs all the support يعني he can. So uh, I think he will play not to lose, and maybe play for draw. Some people suggest, okay, let's play it five in the back, and we spent 2 years blaming Steve Bruce to play five at the back, and they request this now because we didn't want big results.
Yeah. Yeah, you and me are on the same page that it is a very difficult situation. Uh, I mean, it's the worst situation, to be honest, the worst situation among all the 12 teams in the Premier League is Newcastle. Uh, that's why I think on the last time we met on Twitter, I talked about the good point that Eddie Howe said about being not afraid of relegation, because if you approach it this way, you can. I mean, sometimes having nothing to lose is power. The well-known said is be afraid of somebody who has nothing to lose. So if the team approaches the next few games with this mentality, then from the psychological perspective, they can get focused, at least that they will sell themselves as players to different teams. They will play their best games and see how the season ends. And I think this is the best strategy, given that uh, playing defensively is not guaranteed. Newcastle is not good defensively like other teams. And we played against, or Newcastle played against Chelsea, and they ended up losing 3-0. So it is very difficult. And if I were to advise Eddie Howe, is to try to implement your game plan, and just go. Liverpool lost to Aston Villa 7-0 last season, and Manchester United lost 5-1 at the same. I think it's the same week. Big losses are not the end of the world, and the most important thing is to play your football, to try to achieve something with the idea that you have. Otherwise, you will be lost playing different strategies according to each opponent, and you will end up relegating anyway.
Miss Amanda Civilly mentioned in an early interview, first interview of her, about the protocol or how they pick the or choose the coach or the right coach. One of the standards was they want someone not afraid from relegation or being in relegation battle before. So, if I compare relegation to COVID, some people who didn't get COVID yet, or hopefully they will not never get COVID, they afraid from COVID. But the one who get it, it's okay. Okay, so fine, and I can and be very uh, strong about it, and I can fight it, so I will not be afraid. So I think this is the situation Eddie Howe in. Deeply in himself, I think he's comfortable, but not at the moment. But he will comfortable because surely Newcastle will have the best transfer market comparing to other teams
How long is his contract, by the way?
until 2024.
Okay, so that's a good point for him. Like if he knows he has some time, then your contract will not expire on 2 3 weeks. So you can play your best game and hope for the best. The team was not winning anyways before Eddie Howe is getting managing the team. In fact, he got the best results with Eddie Howe and not otherwise. Uh, if we think that way, we have to think about Leeds United, and Leeds United is with their manager Bielsa. He is a very strong manager in terms of playing my own way, playing beautiful game, attacking by all means, and he's getting wrecked so many times. He got five against Manchester United. He got seven yesterday, I guess. And on the other hand, the relation between the manager and the fans are understanding. They enjoy the way they're playing, and they're happy about it. On the other hand, we see like in Manchester United, for example, with Jose Mourinho, last couple of years, he got he got the team the best position they have been in since Alex Ferguson's retirement. But the fans were very unhappy with his style, with his management of the team. So I think this is a very important, you know, tiny link between what the fans want, what the management wants, and what the team can achieve, and how margin of a time we have to give the manager. We have to give them the benefit of doubt. You have to give them the benefit of mistakes. He has to try. He has to try different things. It is not it is not like come and win and let's go. Do it all at this time. It is impossible. So applying this to logic, if you play this way against Liverpool, you will get three minimum. So I don't want to be in Eddie's house shoes at the moment.
دكتور يزيد before we going to transfer window or January transfers, we have Liverpool as well tomorrow. Manchester City 19th, Manchester United 27, Everton at 30. So these four games, uh, how you think Eddie Howe survive this? What he should do? What you advise him to do in this four games? Just play defense, try to get few points, or some people say bark the pass and play defense. What's your suggestion,
I
or
would
what?
never I would never advise park the bus in the Premier League. I was so mad at Steven Gerrard last game against Liverpool for parking the bus, and I've always been attacking Jose Mourinho for playing that way. I was unhappy with Conte play to park the bus against Liverpool earlier this season. I'm never advocate of parking the bus. Play football, play your football, and get result that way. I mean, one of the most boring teams to watch is Atletico Madrid at the moment with Simeone and his style. So what I will say will not be, a Newcastle fan will not like that, but Newcastle fans will not like that. But I think Eddie Howe will hardly manage to get 1 point out of the games that you mentioned. But I think the best thing that we can hope for is showing character and showing that we are a team that we can play with a game plan from the beginning to end and try
but
to implement some
Dr. Yazid,
ideas.
showing the character, you didn't want to show it with conceding more goals, because this is I think the priority. What do you think the priority of Eddie Howe?
That,
Priority is not to lose by many goals, is to play good games with close results, or as you said, show the character. What's the priority for Eddie Howe?
I think the latter is the most important at this point. I might be pessimistic at saying this, but I'm trying to be realistic. Newcastle will not manage to get with the way they're playing. It is very difficult to get results against Liverpool tomorrow, and Manchester United is doing well. In fact, if playing offensively and showing character and showing courage, that's what actually will increase the odds for Newcastle to get something out of those games. It's not the other way around. And as I said, if parking the bus is guaranteed for good points, because you know what the problem, Waleed, is? The problem is losing sight, losing structure. You don't know what you want to do. Because if the manager came and he said, no, we don't want to play as Steve Bruce did, the fans don't want to do that. And this is a new perspective. We're trying to do something else here. And then at the very first difficult time or obstacle, we say, oh, you know what? Let's go back to what we were doing. You cannot solve problems doing the same things that caused the problems at the beginning. So personally, I will advise Eddie Howe to show courage and try to implement. And you never know if he managed to stop Liverpool and maybe get the confidence building one by one. Uh, one game by another. I mean, you will get two birds with one stone. Like you get the momentum, you get the confidence, and you get points. Uh, and I'll give an example for Manchester City. Every team play behind the ball and try to give them the ball and just try to defend. They get wrecked all the time. But the teams that get courage, and one example we have is Newcastle with Rafa Benitez. We played very offensively. We attacked Manchester City and we won 1-0. You remember that? Uh, so I say it again. It is, I will plan for the worst, hope for the best, and try to play my game and try to enjoy it.
That's a brilliant, Dr. Yazid, and
Thank you.
I, I hope Eddie Howe hear this,
Doesn't listen
either
to me, huh?
listen to you, or hear the same quote from someone else as well. Uh, okay, so
I think he is very strong
strong
person, and,
character.
and
Yes,
yes,
yes, yes,
he's
yes.
strong character, and I think he's not the kind of person who give up quickly. I think he'll try to get the best out of his team the way he wants, and that doesn't mean by any means giving up all his ideas and parking behind the bus or parking the bus, playing behind the ball, and just hoping for a no.
Uh,
Your question.
yeah, it's not a question as I want to ask you. It's a question, yes. Selection of the players, because I remember briefly we speak about how Liverpool picking players through the system, and it was interesting information from you, Dr. Yazid. Uh,
Thank you.
so I would like to uh, your expectation for Newcastle and selection of players. If you advise them to do it Liverpool way or modify way or new way to select the players. I know the transfer window is in the winter and January is different than the one in the summer, but Newcastle transfer window in this coming January, I think this is the important transfer window in Newcastle history. No team maybe have this, all these circumstances happens. So what do you think Newcastle should do, owners and the management should do regarding this matter?
Yes, I think we should do a recap to what we discussed in the Arabic version earlier, I think last month, probably. We were talking about the importance of structure. We were talking about the importance of having a plan for 4-5 years in advance and not just for the short term, which is not which is not like a bad thing to work for the short term. That's fine to get like short term goals and long term goals. But my main focus was, and I wrote about that in the last article in Al-Yom newspaper when I discussed the choosing of manager of football. Was that the name, I guess, when I discussed Michael Edwards. So the idea is Newcastle has no identity in the last few years other than fighting to get and play in the Premier League and trying to stay there. In terms of signing players, there is no clear vision. So the idea that I discussed is this is the exact issue that when fixed, it will give the team his identity and it will give him the profit for long years to come. And I discussed also how Arsenal, for example, is different than Newcastle, different than Chelsea when it comes to implement or recruitment and recruiting new players, or even scouting. Manchester United is completely different. Manchester United is bringing well-established players play in the first like starting 11 in their teams, like Sancho, like Van der Beek, I guess, and many other players. While Arsenal try to find young players, and Liverpool, I don't want to make it a long statement here. Liverpool implemented something different, which is the usage of statistics in analyzing players' data and trying to see which player fits the system. So this idea is very important when you have a well-established organization, football organization with an open-minded management in terms of ownership and open-minded manager with a vision, future vision, and a manager of football that can connect between the scouting team, the manager, and the owners of the team. I gave example of Michael Edwards and how he used, it is very funny story actually. There is a game well known among football players, game players called Football Manager. It's very well known for years, and their strongest point is collecting data about players from all over the world, and the game stimulate reality actually in terms of development of the players and all that, and it is very very detailed, giving numbers and statistics of all player. What Liverpool did with a whole team actually of statisticians and other analysts, they looked into players with prospect, and they determined an age group that they wanted to implement, and via that strategy they were able to implement Mane, Firmino, who was not very famous at that time. Mane was playing in Southampton. Robertson, who came from a relegated team, Hall, and Gomez, and many other players. So it also gave them, when they were debating between Oblak and Ellison, they decided Ellison because of a very, very, very detailed statistic and ratio. And when using that, it doesn't matter then who's the manager, and I mean in future, because the team has a well established system that goes through the kids, and then the under 18, I mean, and then under 23, and then the reserve, and then the team. And I also talked about how, for example, Liverpool were able to offload Wijnaldum, and then just moved like a chess moved Curtis Jones to the first team, and then moved Harley Elliott and other players. Manchester City at the beginning, they were doing the same, and then they implemented different strategy, which is good, by the way. They're not getting number one players all the time. They're getting players that can fit to the system. On the other hand, we see teams like Chelsea, for example, who spends crazy money and brings anybody, and then bring any manager who can just mix this, salad, and get the best starting 11. And then some players get, they loses their value, they loses their satisfaction, interest for the team, and then we see a lot of problems there. So that's my idea, and that's what I'm trying to advocate for. That's what I'm trying to actually highlight, because this is what matters really. The results of the next 4 games will not matter in the long term, whether we relegated or not. Juventus played in the relegated ones. Many teams relegated, but the idea is, I'll give you another example. Sheffield United and Aston Villa both promoted to the Premier League together. Sheffield did a fantastic first season, and then they get relegated, while Aston Villa were implementing a lot of ideas and different strategies, and now they're doing very, very well. So long story short, the system matters. The implementation of the right people at this time matters, and embracing data and embracing new technologies will really transform Newcastle into a very, very stylish, new age style of management.
Dr. Yazid, that's brilliant. Speaking of the system, يعني we'll ask you who come first, the chicken or the egg. We ask you,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. I want to ask you who's the first يعني in Liverpool, who and when put the system? Is it a club? Is it Michael Edwards? Is it Liverpool? Who did the
It
system?
is actually FSG. I forgot the full name, but it is
Person, name of a person.
Fenway Sports Group, FSG, Fenway Sports Group, the owners of Liverpool, and John Henry, the owner, who actually implemented that system when, or actually under his management of Red Sox team in Boston. And when they bought Red Sox, actually, they did not win the league for a number of years. I don't have the numbers exactly, but using that system helped them to win the league after a very long time. And then that was their idea. And when they approached the first manager they appointed Kenny Dalglish as a transitional period. They wanted to lift the morale of the team after a very difficult time, which is more or less similar to what Newcastle is having right now. And once they just got through the first 6 months, they appointed their first manager, who was Brendan Rodgers, who actually wrote 180 pages explaining his system and explaining his recruitment and all that, and how he can actually will work with the manager of football at that time. And I think he was Komali at first, and then he didn't work well, and then they appointed Michael Edwards. But to your point or to your question, it is actually the management. So such an appointment should be the approach of the higher management, deciding how the team is going to, or how the club rather than the team is going to progress during the coming years.
This is very interesting, and I'm thinking of Jurgen Klopp. Is he forced to follow this system? How if he have some another opinion uh, different than the system? So for example, let's say Firmino, or we see Gota now playing instead of center forward. Gota from behind, he came instead of Firmino.
For injury reason. But
Mm.
speaking of Jota, I think the system, and don't quote me on that. I might not be 100% sure exact, but it is similar to this idea that the manager comes to the manager of football and says, "I need a player that has this, and that qualities." And for Liverpool, they wanted a player who can play on all the three positions, and who won't mind being a substitute for any of the three. And I think the first choice was Tom. What's his name? Werner, who
Timo
went
Werner,
to, yeah, Timo Werner, thank you, who went to Chelsea, and then second on the list was Diego Jota. So this is how it works. There is some kind of negotiation between the team, the scouting team, and the manager of football, and the manager of the first team, and then they give the choices. Sometimes the manager will suggest a player, and then they search for him and see if he fits the system or not. But the point is, it is never a one man's call. It is never like I want this player and that's it, which happens in different other clubs. Uh, for example, when Brendan Rodgers came, I guess, to Swansea, he requested one player, but in Liverpool, no, it has to go through the whole process, and sometimes he just says, for example, I don't think Jurgen Klopp ever knew of. Simicast, right left, the left winger now, the back left substitute of Robertson. It was the name suggested by the manager of football and the scouting team. So this is how it works. It's a complete, system
cooperation.
and, yeah, corporation. Thank you. Between all of them to find the best for the team, with the help of the manager's vision, with the help of data, statistics, analytics, win ratios, and all that.
So it shouldn't be only the system. يعني, if example Jurgen Klopp want a player not fit the system completely, there is negotiate. This could happen.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I
No.
don't think so. Yes, I don't think so. And one example is Fabinho. Fabinho was signed like a snap, without probably the like everything was managed by the team of transfer team led by or managed by, I don't know the technical names, but it was the team managed by Michael Edwards.
Mm. So for Newcastle, this is a great way. Do you somehow recommend it for Newcastle, or maybe Newcastle condition now? It's very hard to play this kind of
I think it
كبي
is the
يعني.
best. It is the best. It is the best. It is the perfect time of implementing such a thing. because sometimes you bring player who don't know that they can be stars and for example I can pick Robertson, for example. He never knew that he can be a big player. He was surprised when Liverpool approached him. So this is the perfect strategy for a team like Newcastle, because you can go and bring players who not all the teams are for, and and their teams might not ask too much money for them, and then you can build your arsenal of players, and make the best starting 11 that you can out of this. I still actually remember when all the pundits were laughing at the price of Virgil van Dijk when Liverpool bought him. But guess what? He's one of the best defenders in the
I
league,
think the
or
best now.
probably the world. So yeah, so this is what I mean. If you get a team that knows what they're doing, they can actually work with the expectations. They can manage the expectations, and the only player probably who didn't work with Liverpool was Naby Keita and Minamino. And for those players, the only two players, those players came from Red Bull Salzburg, who is also owned by FSG as well. So it's a kind of business
Business
deal
matter,
there.
yeah.
Yes, yes. So it is not like when Chelsea in 2012 got Torres for that high number, and he didn't, manage to do well. Or when Barcelona got Coutinho for 140 million euros, and then he ended up failing. So this is different. This is outside or above the call of one man who is the manager, and this is actually the way it should be in 2022.
The coach involved in this system, and I mean, this system pick Klopp to be the coach. Did they
I
pick
think
Brandon Rogers as well, or it's different
I am not sure. I think
job?
your question is, do they pick the manager through the
And
system as well?
statistic,
I'm
and
not sure. I'm not sure. But I think the manager has to be comfortable working with this strategy
uh,
somehow,
uh,
because Jurgen Klopp has no problem with that, and they actually used to work this way, and bringing young players and developing them. So he was the right fit for the system, because he worked with Lewandowski, Götze, and many other young players, Aubameyang, and many other players who got them through some kind of system. I am not sure how the Borussia Dortmund works, but the idea here is how the team is gonna, how the club is gonna present their case as their identity. Are we going to be like Borussia Dortmund, Marseille, Ajax kind of team? Are we going to be Liverpool kind of team, Arsenal, or are we going to be like Chelsea, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Barcelona's kind of team, Paris Saint Germain, and others who just go to the market and splash the cash and hope for a good results, and if not, we just change the manager and continue this whole cycle of miss. I call it the cycle of miss, and I hope not. And the appointment of Eddie Howe somehow tells me that this might not be the case. So this is actually one of the important ideas that I write about Newcastle for. I want to highlight this idea and somehow reach the management of the club to think through those lens, and I'm pretty sure they are more than qualified to do so. But it's just bringing the discussion out on the surface, as it is more important for me, in my opinion, than the short-term result of tomorrow or the end of January. Muted.
okay, sorry. I think this system, when I think it, I think it over. It's pretty much doing, we could say, half the job.
Definitely.
Half the job for the coach. For example, if of course I'm putting myself in like a club job or Eddie Howe job. If I have some formation, like okay, I want some. I like to do crosses, for example. So when I have a statistic saying this right back doing a great crosses, high number of assists, accurate of of this crosses and the speed and all
Tackles,
kind of
for
statistic.
example,
Yeah.
goal conversion rates, and all that stuff.
So I will have ready player fit for the thing I could ask, and also my genius as a coach or uh,
will become easy
يعني
to implement. Yeah.
yes, exactly. I'm type of class
Yes.
manager. I have things also. I can also improve this player to
Yes.
have
Definitely.
more statistic, better
Definitely.
statistic. So
For
that's why
example, Jurgen
Liverpool.
Klopp. Yeah.
That's why Liverpool now in the top.
I think in my opinion, I think this is why. I think this is one of the main ideas because Liverpool, unlike other successful teams, they did not spend too much, and that's key to me. That's key. That when you can compete with Manchester City, who has basically an open budget, and you can like back by back or and year by year on year out, and you're always fighting with them. That tells me that the system you're doing is working.
And imagine any reason the coach resigned or have any issues or whatever, the team will not collapse like some teams who pick most of the players for the coach opinions only. And another coach came, oh no, I don't want these
Will
players.
change
And
everything.
this is will cost everything and change everything. Is this?
Exactly. And also, if, for example, I just told you that Genji Wijnaldum, for example, he wanted to stay with Liverpool, as the story goes, and it's just they could not reach the right agreement regarding the contract, and he had to leave. So Liverpool did not pay a penny replacing him, and they paid with Elliot Harvey, I guess his name was, the 17 years old kid who got injured in the first 3 games, I think, who did fantastic. And this is the thing: if you're used to play in this position in the under 18, under 23, and the reserve, so you know exactly what you're doing. So you're just replacing Ronaldo with Harvey Elliott to do the same job, and you just click with the system, and the system works. And this reminds me of how Arsene Wenger used to work actually. And I remember at those years I had a conversation with one of my friends, and I said most of the players who leave Arsenal, who used to play with Arsene Wenger, usually does not succeed because they then, especially if they go to a less structured team like the Spanish league. I remember Hleb did not do well when he left, with the exception of Thierry Henry. He did well, but others did not, and Liverpool as well. Emre Can and Coutinho and other players, they found that the system helps them to show their best qualities. But when they play with like more individual centric approaches like Barcelona or others, you're by yourself and you have to be extremely exceptional player in terms of individualistic characteristics and individualistic qualities other than teamwork and team play.
I have two more questions regarding this system before move to other topic. Uh, Chemistry have a part in this system. Chemistry with the players have part somehow with the system.
In what
Like
terms?
sometimes for me I try I tried small experience of coaching some different level, but sometimes I have like been in a situation there's two great players, but together they can't. There is no chemistry between them. But if I put sometimes one of these great players with some normal players, there is a chemistry, and they
I
do
think
better.
I got what you mean.
So,
Yeah.
how is this is work in the system? Maybe have some, or they just about the numbers.
I think this is no secret that this is an old practice. It is not new. Uh, and if you watch any like documentaries and other, if you go details about management, interpersonal managements and teams and stuff like that, you see managers do a lot of things. For example, when choosing when they play away and which roommates they're choosing with each other and other kind of things to enhance the interpersonal relationships between the players in order to deliver better understanding and better outcome on the pitch. Michael Jordan, for example, is used to do different things when he wants to start chemistry with the new players. He used to fight them in the training, like fights until they get pissed off, and then if they give up, he said, "I don't want to play with such a loser. I want you to fight. I want you to attack me. I want you to." So it is very interesting topics if you search on it. But other things, I remember one manager. I forgot who he was. He used to play right back on the left back because he said if he's always play on his more comfortable foot, it is very difficult for him to defend. And he used to play him on the left back in order to just increase his awareness of his body movements and of his defensive movement, and he became good at what he's doing. Other managers move players from like one position to another. Fabinho used to be a right back, and then he became a center midfielder. Jamie Carragher used to be a right back, and when Rafa Benitez came, he used to play him exclusively as a central defender. There is a use of all like personal characteristic, statistics, and all that together in the process.
Other than Liverpool, Dr. Yazid, who else using this system, exact system, and
I'm
especially in
not I'm
Premier
not
League?
saying that this is only for Liverpool. I'm saying that
I know, no, but who
yeah,
use it as well,
yes,
if you know?
I think Borussia Dortmund uses it. I think Arsenal uses it.
Arsenal
The
uses it. Okay,
yes,
why they are not successful?
because it's different, different goals between the management and the players. The management, the not the players. I'm sorry, the fans and the owners. The owners spent too much on the new stadium, and then finance becomes a problem, and they just want to keep selling players in order to pay the debt
Uh,
to get their money back. So it's a whole system that has to fit everyone. The numbers had to adds up, between the owners, the team, the players, and the fans together to reach the same goal. If everyone is off topic, it's gonna be very difficult.
okay,
I
this
think
system,
also, yeah.
who
Go ahead.
can who can? I
Red
mean,
Bull Salzburg, Red Bull
is it
Salzburg.
is it for
Start.
sale? How much is it?
I think, I think, yeah. I don't know, but I mean, those kind of things can come by training.
No,
Definitely
no,
can come by training.
the system. Let's say example, Newcastle want to do it. You have to buy it. There is software.
The data,
How's this?
yeah.
How's that work?
If you're talking about the data or the database, I think they are for sale. Yes, too much money, but they are for sale, and it is not about the data. A lot of data are available through the internet, my friend. Now, but it is about how you use it, how you can use it. Those kind of things. You need
Okay,
researchers and you need
so
analysts.
how
Go ahead.
how will Liverpool use it?
I think I think Liverpool have a whole system And I read on that like 3 4 years ago. So I'm just talking from my memory. I did not prepare it for this interview because I didn't know we were gonna talk about it. And all my shows with Waleed, by the way, is spontaneous. We don't prepare. We just talk. So I was saying that Liverpool is keep improving the system, and just recently they signed a specific trainer only for throw-ins because they want to turn the throw-ins into an opportunity creating opportunities, if that's a sentence. But they want to use it as a tool to free spaces for players and score goals from the throw-ins. So every single detail is somehow being developed, and a lot of things are working on it. And if you remember the scandal of Belsa when he was spying on other team, I think on the League One, and
No, actually, no.
yeah, he was spying. He sent somebody to spy on. I forgot who was the opponent, but it was a big game. The winner will go to the Premier League, uh, and he got. They caught him spying, and Pilsa was so embarrassed, and he wanted to do something about it. So immediately he called for a press conference, and he called all the managers, I'm sorry, not managers, the journalists, and he gave them everything he already knows about that team. I think it was Derby County, if I'm not mistaken, it was Derby County, and and he said we know that they do this, this, and that before spying on them, because this is what our research team is doing. So what I'm trying to say here is the game is extremely sophisticated. Uh, uh, if you got the right team to do it. It's never a one man's job, and it's a whole team and a whole set of tools that if used perfectly, the example can be set for others. Really.
This is really interesting, and I'm sorry, all the question about it. Uh, but because I believe, in just this is my opinion, Newcastle really need this. Not mean the system need this need this direction or
Exactly. Structure. I like to call it
structure.
structure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, or blueprint for the new plans for after the takeover. So let's say, for example, not Newcastle, other teams. Oh no, we don't want this Liverpool system, which is very great. What the alternative? What usually the other option?
As I said, every team, you know, for example, let's think of Real Madrid. What's Real Madrid's system? It's always investment on what they call it, the La Liga 2 team, and from time to time they get so rich somehow, and they bring players in
Have
and
a class
change
A.
managers. Yeah, and then change managers. Like some managers play 1 2 3 games, and then they change them until they somehow magically get one. Barcelona, for example, if you look at Barcelona from 2004 or 5 until recently, they got the what you call him, the Dutch Johan Cruyff. They call it the Johan Cruyff legacy, the 4-3-3, and they implement it in all levels, and it's more or less the same. Their scouts looks for players who fit the system, and different special countries in Netherlands, in Argentina, and in other places. And I think more or less every team is doing something. So the thing is not copying any this team or that. What the thing is trying to start from where others finished. So what Liverpool is doing now is implementing the data, and they are like they reached the Champions League final 2 times in 4 years. They finished either winners or in second position for two times of the 3 years. So it's working. And if you combine that with how much they spent, then you know that the system is not only effective, but also, money wise, it is very good because you don't have to spend too much. And in this way, you can generate money, which is, let's not lie to ourselves. Every owner wants to generate money.
Newcastle linked strongly with Kieran Trippier, the right back of Atletico Madrid.
I didn't hear you, sorry. Mike did.
Okay. Newcastle now in this coming January transfer window linked with Jesse Lingard from Manchester United, Kieran Trippier, right back of Atletico Madrid and the England team. Also the defender, Putman from Lille, Dutch, he's from Netherlands, play in France, Lille team. Yeah, and they are the source was, I think, Fabrizio Romano, so a strong source. So how you think they get being picked by Newcastle?
It is the one thing that I think is shared by all of the names is experience. They are all experienced. They are not youngsters. Trippier is in his early 30s. Jesse Lingard, I guess he's in late 20s, and Botman and
He's young, I think, Putman. I
what's
think
that?
very young. He's a young defender, I think.
Yeah,
I believe.
but he's experienced. He won the French title with his team, and so they're all experienced, which is a good and effective strategy because you want someone who can just perform.
Eddie
So
Howe, you think he picked them, or the scout, or
I am not familiar with the
just
system.
expectation, yani.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the current system in Newcastle. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the scouting team, and there is no manager of football at Newcastle at the moment, right? They have not appointed anyone yet, right? Uh, there were talk about Michael Edwards and the ex-Chelsea
Emenalo,
guy.
Michael Emenalo.
Yeah, but yeah. So unless this got clarified, there is no way we can tell. There is
Okay,
no way we can tell. Yeah.
if we link
Sometimes, by
to
the way, sometimes the owner just come and buy players. We know Abramovich do it sometimes. He said that I wanted
yes,
Shevchenko,
but
and they got Andrei Shevchenko, and they tried to make him work. And I think Andrei Shorley, the same.
yeah, but I didn't think Newcastle and with the consortium doing this, at least for now, I didn't think they're doing this. Okay, so if we link to million defender, I'm not asking about this. We need defenders, but Jesse Lingard, do you think there is another way or another reasons to bring Lingard? Does that mean we are not happy with Saint Maximin and El Meiron and Fraser? Maybe because they are or the position Lingard will play instead of home in Newcastle. Because why am I asking? Because I think there is another how we can say another reason to bring Lingard is maybe for financial, for bringing a strong English player name playing in England squad. Maybe will play in coming World Cup. So maybe we need this aura with this English player coming to Newcastle. It's also help us with with the English society or football
Definitely.
society after the the agenda of Premier League and the
And the
things with the yellow
homegrown
pages.
players system and all
Yes.
that. I got what you mean. what I don't like about this list of players is it does not address the main issue of Newcastle, which is the defensive midfielders. Uh, there is no good from this list. At least we can which we should deal with a grain of salt. You know, it's just it's not final, and it's just speculations. But if it's to be true, uh, Jesse Lingard did very well with West Ham, and it's just not clear at this moment what Eddie Howe's you know what do you call it, like recommendations and what he thinks of the current team, you know, because there must be a report sent to the management and evaluation of all the players which we are not aware of, but Trippier as a right back, he's a good player. He maybe he wants to come back to the Premier League again. He was in Spain for some time. Jesse Lingard, as I said, maybe he's not happy with Newcastle. He wants more playing time, and he did well at West Ham, so he could do well. Botman is a good player for future recruitment. I mean a player who can you can use now, and he still can give you a few good years. Uh, so let's wait until we see something materialize, and so we can give more insight.
Okay, regarding signing a player in coming transfer window, uh, we know it's a month, and I believe the more we come late to sign, let's say today is first day of January, for example, every day pass without signing, things are getting more difficult, more expensive, more pressure, more mistakes. So do you think يعني I think now يعني regarding league يعني I think there is contact with the players and agent at least to get the players. So what do you think, Dr. Yazid, the mechanism of signings? Are we gonna have we are just expect talking يعني in our
Just
opinion, yeah.
yeah,
So
you just said in the beginning of this show, I don't know if it was off air or that fans wants to see winning team. So I
yeah,
think other
no,
players
that was
wants too.
before.
That was before. So so I think other players too. They don't want to make a commitment and coming to the team and find themselves playing in League One. So I think it is a very difficult situation. I don't know how they're gonna manage uh, going through it, but I think the best thing to do is trying to get the best out of this current team and see what happens from now until January. And I am sure I'm sure that Eddie Howe is aware of his weaknesses, which, in my opinion, the biggest weakness is a central midfielder with a character and with an ability to manage the game, attack, coming back, hold the ball. Player like I'm not saying per se, but I mean the style of Kroos at Real Madrid, of Xavi Alonso, Steven Gerrard, those kind of player. There is a player that I told you before I wish Newcastle bring, who the Belgian plays for Leicester City. What's his
Tillemans,
name? Number eight. Yes,
Tillemans.
Telemas. Yeah, that player will be great, but I don't care about him personally as much as I care about the qualities he has. So any other addition other than that area, in my opinion, will not be sufficient.
Uh, how many days we should waste or spend on the player? Let's, for example, say now is one day. First, it's obvious that I'm really waiting 1st of January.
Mhm.
Let's say it's 1st of January, and we have Kieran Trippier, and there is negotiating, and we know there is a negotiating team. There is a number of
Mhm.
Louis for this. So we didn't agree first day. We didn't finish this second day. So how many days we should waste or spend with the one player before we're going to the next names? Because we didn't want to waste the whole month negotiating. So what do you think we should do if some delaying? When we should move to another player, or should we talk with 5 at once? How we do this in this
You know what's the secret word
very
here?
difficult time? Yeah.
Yeah, the secret word is manager of football, who is responsible for taking all the taking control of all of that. Like for example, Liverpool, for example, just because I follow Liverpool too much, Van Dijk took a year to sign. Fabinho took like a few days. We didn't even know about the name in the media. We just knew that he signed just after the Champions League. So the secret word here is the manager of football who can
Wouldn't have it now. So
exactly.
even if we have it, does he have the time to pick the right players?
It is not. I wouldn't put too much hope on this transfer market, to be honest. My hope, yeah, because we're not sure. We're not sure how much data we have. We're not sure what scouts we have. We're not sure what our strategy is, and we are not sure who will take care of negotiation and bringing those players. Who is the manager of football?
But big chance, Eddie Howe, he will pick them up.
Yes, that's possible. That's possible, and that's okay. There is no problem with that as like a short-term strategy to just
Yes,
get
because
away.
he will be the first one to blame. So I think he will be
Yes,
he will
yes,
be pick.
and he has experience. He has experience in League One, so probably he will be able to bring somebody.
So what do you think, Dr. Yazid? So Eddie Howe choose a player. So how much days we'll spend with the player before we're going to next one? Let's say we have defender.
I
We have
think
this defender and his agent taking so much time. So we'll go to another player, or we talk with 5 players at once.
how
How's
many
this?
players do you think we will sign?
3 to 4 minimum.
I think that's too much. I think that's too much. I think we will be happy if we got one or two, to be honest.
Oh
I
no,
think
Dr. Yazid.
I don't know because of what I told you, because we're not sure, and even it is not easy to bring 4 or 5 players and without preseason, without training, without anything,
Yes.
just to want them to hook with the system and play the last
There
the
is no
last period
system now.
of
Not so
yeah, there
much
is
of
no
a system.
exactly. So I am a structured person. I am. That's why I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
like teams like yeah,
Yeah. But this is we'll do next summer. But now we have a saving. We need a saving plan, rescue
yeah.
plan.
I remember Jurgen Klopp when he was first signed. Everybody was asking him. I think that October 15th, 2015, and everybody was asking him about transfer market, and they said, why nobody asked me about the current players? I want to improve the current players. So let me ask you this: is this the best that this team can do?
Actually, Eddie Howe been asked the same, and he said,
Uh huh.
last question I want you journalists to ask me is the transfer window. I want to. He think the same thing. I want to
Okay.
do the best from the player, but I think he's just being polite and just trying to give the player the boost for
But I'm
getting the much
asking you
as they
something
can. And
different. I'm
okay,
asking you something different. I'm
I'm sorry.
saying, is this the best thing that this team can do?
Yeah, that's why I think my brain couldn't answer, because yes, I think this is the best. Easily, as easy.
Okay, I don't think
uh,
so. I think this team can do better. But
mhm.
if there is one player that can improve us very quickly, it will be a central midfielder because the wingers are good, the attacker is good. Maybe right back will do, or left back, right back and left back will do.
uh, Alan Shearer says, and and of course, Alan Shearer, a legend, and he
Mhm.
knows very much deeply in the team. He said basically, we need 4 players. We need two
Mhm.
two at defense, definitely. because
said
our
two
defense is
defender,
two center back, because he believed the defense line is weak and older, much more older, didn't be renewed long time ago, and they did hard work for the years. What's the name of the bird?
That's Kiwi.
I think he went to speak with us also. They have something to say.
For that.
Yeah. So the the defenders, he said they are very old. They not been renewed, and they exposed with the new plan or the new strategy. Mr. Idiha want to play, and also he need one player in the middle field who gets a bit of a guile. I think it's like smarter in a play, and one striker to help Wilson in taking charge of scoring. What do you think of Alan Shearer reading of this picking?
Everyone can dream. Everyone can dream, but give me two. I think we all agree that the January market is it's like a surgery, you know. The surgery
Yes.
you want to do it precisely, exactly at the same location, and get it done. But if everything is a problem,
Actually,
it's very difficult.
this is first time. Maybe I disagree with you. I think this is not just a selective surgery. This is a rescue surgery. They want to save life.
Yeah, if you want to save life, you don't care about perfect. If you're gonna break a
Yes.
bone, break it. You know,
Yes.
you just save the life.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
So so it's very difficult to bring somebody. I mean, I give you example. Liverpool last year, they got the Turkish defender. I don't know what's his name. They got
Kabak, I think.
Karakan. I don't
Ozan
know.
Kabak, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you steal it from Newcastle. Newcastle was planning to get.
Okay, he's back now. We can get him.
No, I didn't.
I think he's back to Stuttgart. But I mean, the thing is, it is very difficult to bring the players that you think you can build around, and this is what Newcastle needs. Newcastle needs to bring players they can build around to, you know, to build to make a team for next year and the year around. If you're gonna bring like temporary choices, well, good luck with that. First, if player agrees to be a temporary, you can give him too much money, but also you have to make sure that you guarantees playing a top fight next year, and none of this Newcastle has at the moment. So
That was the.
We cannot guarantee staying at the Premier League. We can't guarantee. We can only give too much money, and if you're gonna spend too much money in not too much quality player, that's another problem.
All right, so let me put it this way. That was very brilliant so far, Dr. Yazid. Before going to the comments, passing the comments of the fans quickly, just want to. I'm asking you. Let's say question. Let's say you are the consortium or part of the consortium, and I am asking you this: which better to spend the amount or the budget we have, which is approximately £200 million, on this rescue plan, rescue surgery, or get relegated and come back next year, the year after?
I will ask one question.
So you answer with the question, okay?
Yeah, I will ask with a question for my team and for my expectations before I, if I can guarantee staying in the Premier League, spending £200 million, I will spend it because I can make it back next year, you know? But if I'm going to spend 200 millions and get relegated, that's,
for me, I can't guarantee. Why? And I can't guarantee very much. Why? Because my plan is to beat at least Watford, the last 6 teams ahead of us from the bottom, of course. They are beatable. If we have just the leverage, they are beatable.
Yeah, but we cannot even name players that we can bring at this point. That's the thing.
We can't name them. You mean?
Can you name players that we can bring and help the team? I don't know. I don't know. I wish, but personally, I really doubt that 4 or 5 players injected to the first team, they will mess up the harmony. They will mess up everything. It is very difficult.
All right. So it's good that January is closed, and
Yes,
let's do
I
another
think
show in January, Dr. Yazid, and we see about that.
I'm up for it. No problem.
Brilliant. Dennis say hello, Saudi brother. Any news or new sponsor for Newcastle United lads؟ طبعا احنا الحين يعني we are يعني صح we are waiting this sponsor and yesterday we know there is new rules and they're gonna be reviewed يعني fairly by Premier League as according to them. But as we discussed yesterday, there is we come to a conclusion, and the whispering going that there is a ready sponsorship ready to be in the light, and we just maybe they're just waiting the appropriate time, or يعني they are a name work يعني consortium working on it, and it will appear soon. This is يعني the last thing we hear. Hello from Newcastle. Hope you are well. Gonna be a rough night tomorrow against Liverpool. Of course, Dr. Yazid agree with that. It's
I
gonna
think
be
so.
rough.
I think Liverpool is very aggressive, and I think it's gonna be a rough game.
Rumors of us and Man City taking to the court. Also, this could happen, Dennis. He's speaking about sponsorship
Okay.
thing. I would love James Ward process from Southampton and Gallagher, who is in loan for Crystal Palace. What do you think, Dr.
I
Yazid?
think I think those are realistic players and realistic options who can make impact right away to the team.
Rumors about Aramco sponsoring Newcastle. This is a gray matter area, still fuzzy. We don't know exactly, but your expectation for sponsorship, Dr. Yazid, who's going to be, if you could name some?
I really have no idea. That's your area of expertise.
Actually, no.
What I can talk about structure. I can talk about
Yes.
future
Yeah, I
implementation
want to,
of
I want to run from this
leadership.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to take the load of this question and throw it at you.
Yeah, I think there are plenty of opportunities. For example, I think the naming of the studio is a big opportunity, and I think also the shirts. The teams can use different areas of the shirts for sponsorship, but I know for a fact that Aramco is very conservative when it comes to selling their names and rights and sponsorships, and it has been business for 100 years or so. So I'm not sure. I doubt if it will change now, or maybe yes. I don't know. Especially if because the Saudi management, what is it called? صندوق الاستثمارات العامة الاختصار تبعه.
PIF.
Yeah, maybe because it's close together. Maybe. I heard also about Saudi Airlines. I heard about Saudi Airlines, so we will see.
Gary says, hopefully Newcastle will be already be in talks with the transfer target ready for January. Yes, I think they are ready and just
I hope
waiting
so,
the
Gary.
rest of
I
January.
hope so, brother.
Dr. Yazid, expectation for the game, result for tomorrow.
Okay, I will go with no.
Nil.
Yeah.
That's pretty generous, Dr. Zaid.
Let's see how it goes.
Hopefully, hopefully. That was lovely, brilliant. We learned a lot. I really, really enjoyed this show, Dr. Zaid. We learned a lot, and hopefully, يعني, I'm not going to say Newcastle. Hopefully, fans also get learn from the process and these kind of systems we spent most of the show talking about. That was very informative. Thank you again, Dr. Yazid, and good luck for Newcastle tomorrow, not Liverpool.
Thank you very much, Walid. I appreciate your show. It's one of the earliest, if the only, if not the only, actually, from a Saudi guy talking about Newcastle and bridging the gap between Saudi fans and English-speaking fans, being in England or otherwise. I appreciate what you're doing. Very good job, brother. And I'm happy to highlight the process of management, the process of change, leadership, and structure of football clubs in general, and Newcastle in specific. With you anytime, and always will be on for another show, definitely.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yazid. And me and Newcastle fans, we are not walking alone.
We will see. We will see tomorrow.
How are the lads? Good night. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Doctor.
Ta-ta.
Take me home to the banks of the river